There was an excitement in the air here at the Big Bear AI Performance Center for day number 9 of Washington Commanders training camp. And the excitement was centered around Stefon Diggs, the wide receiver, the veteran, all pro wide receiver, has joined the Washington Commanders. And today he was on display for the fans who were in attendance. And you can tell that he was excited as well because after practice, we had a chance to speak with him. And I asked him as far as coming back and playing in this wide receiver room that he's currently part of, and also coming back to the area.
Thank you so much. Seeing how far this team went 2 years ago,
Yeah.
Game away from the Super Bowl. You were just in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
last year. Do you feel like that's something that maybe you could be that missing link to help get this?
I don't want to say that. I'm gonna do the best that I can. From my point of view of just being a receiver, being open, being a leader. Trying to lead by example and push the guys around me. My biggest thing is I always try to push the guys around me the best version of themselves. We slowly kind of building that already. This day one, we had a lot of conversations, more than I thought we would have. Guys coming up to me and me just throwing a little gem here and there. I'm older. I've been around the game for a little while now, like I said earlier, but I'm graceful and I'm just trying to give them everything that I got, and at the same time, more show than tell. I can say a bunch of hoopla, but I'd rather just go out there and hoop and show you why I did what I did, or kind of just communicate through the actions.
And then also, just one more.
You good? They got to get y'all some better mics too. I can barely hear y'all.
Okay. So it's I'll speak up. So it's only been one day.
Yeah.
But impressions of some of the receivers you've been working with so far?
Yeah. I mean, they got talent. They got a lot of talent. Brown, he's been to a couple teams, but this is his first team he was at. I see that he has a lot of potential. He's made some plays. Terry, obviously. Trey Burks, he was in Tennessee. He's been in the league for a little while too. So, and then you got the young guys. 14 can hoop a little bit. Young guys don't get a name in the beginning. Just call him by the number. But he can hoop a little bit. He got some game, and hopefully I can be a piece in their process that can kind of build this team and lead this team in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, I just want to win, man. Winning is the main thing for me. We had a little bit of that last year, a lot of that last year, and I kind of want that to just carry over. And all I can bring is my experience and the things that I've done and my leadership.
Do you guys anticipate at this point right now just to be you're good with your wide receiver room bringing in Steph, or is it something you still will survey and look and see if there's other help out there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say that's part of Adam's nature, like to see what's there, how does it go. But we like the group. We're like seeing where we're at. Adding Steph to it is a big deal. But I think as a competitor, you don't ever, say, no, we're not done, we're not looking. So, but we are happy with the group. I think that's fair to say.
And as far as the offensive line, the depth that you guys have, what are you seeing from guys like Andrew Wiley and Trent Scott, some of those guys?
Yeah, super valuable, first off. Andrew, the ability to play both left tackle and right tackle, that goes without saying, the importance of that. Especially LT and Josh, we're comfortable there, but the ability for Andrew to be into both spots, that's a big deal. Trent's got experience as a jumbo tight end, a tackle, and we've actually moved him inside some, and he's actually begun snapping as well. So when somebody's a veteran like Trent, he's a good athlete, moving him around in the different locations, that's a big deal for us. We'll continue to work through that. I like what I'm seeing from Coleman. I like what I'm seeing from Paul. We're a ways away from having a real decision, at left guard. Certainly the same thing at center. We're expecting, Nick back, not today, but he's coming back. So there's a couple of spots that we're just going to, dig in, and it'll take a minute.
Now, there were 3 more mainstays that were also in attendance today as far as practicing, and we're talking about punter Tress Way, defensive lineman Dorrance Armstrong, and cornerback Trey Amos. All 3 of those gentlemen have been out with injuries, nothing too serious, and obviously today when we got the news from Coach Dan Quinn that all 3 of those guys would be back in practice today, that was another great sign for Washington, so they continue to get good quality news that can help enhance their 2026 campaign. We had a chance to speak with all 3 of the gentlemen after practice, and this is what Tress Way had to say as far as what he's seeing from this team. Remember, he's seen a lot of different teams in his time here in Washington as one of the longest tenured members of the team, and he's excited about what he's seeing.
Obviously been around for a while, but as far as the competition with this team, do you see anything that's standing out a little bit more than, say, years previous?
Yeah, I think that there's always competition. I feel like every time it's offense versus defense and receivers and DBs and O-line, D-line, everything is so hyper-focused now. It's like every competition is not just a competition of who won or lost. It was just like when did the win or the loss take place, like all the way down through a catch and a DB's knocking it out. I mean, everything is so detailed, and like it's very freeing as a player when you have a coach that just like leans in. This is what we're focusing on today. We're going to keep score, and like we're also going to show it in team meeting, like who won, who lost, things like that. And so the whole day, I don't know, it's just you're on edge in a good way. Like you want to keep winning, you want to keep building momentum, and then now you look up and we're all kind of doing it together, building up to the season. And it's been a fun like momentum of camp in that way. Yeah.
Over the past few weeks, there's been a big excitement as far as the edge rushers that Washington brought in, and we're talking about Kaylavon Chasen and Adafe Owe. But today, with Dorrance Armstrong being back after practice, I asked him, has he reminded the two young pups as far as who's this team's sack leader?
They brought in two young edge rushers. Have you reminded them that you have been the sack leader here?
They know what's up.
How do you feel like, with you being back, how good can you guys be up front?
I mean, as far as the sky's the limit, we got a lot of good guys that can rush across the whole board, and we just looking to be better than we was last year.
And Trey Amos was having a really good rookie campaign last year before he had a leg injury that knocked him out pretty much for the second half of the season. And I asked him after practice as well, how does he feel about coming back and also having veterans like Amik Robertson and Rasul Douglas in the room that can help him?
Having veterans like Rasul and Amik in your room now, how does that help you in your game?
Man, it brings a lot of energy. They even when I was just on the sideline, they still telling me things, formations, what this wide receiver do, and other details like that. So I really appreciate those guys. Yeah, man, we all just hungry, and it's just not them two, just everybody, being close to one another, and yeah, just make some.
And then also with Durante and his defense, do you feel like you'll be utilized more towards your skill sets?
Say it again.
With Durante and the defense now, do you feel like you'll be utilized more in his sets as far as your skill set?
Oh yeah, most def. Yeah, I'm trusting the process. I've been soaking all the knowledge, the details within the schemes, and just trying to go out there so I can be most comfortable and just show that skill set, and just trusting what our coach is teaching us, and just what should I say, like, yeah, just believing in him, so.
Y'all can kiss my it's 7 p.m. Friday. 95 degrees. I ain't got no and no I ain't got deep. I'm about to show my love free. How he set your man. If he right here, Friday night, hot as hell. And you know rap, mani petty, fresh set. And I got my toes out. I'm working out like all night. Feel me pretty. And they y'all fuck.
So again, not a whole lot happened today. I mean, there were a couple guys that continued to stand out. Bill Krosky-Merritt continues to catch that football effectively out of the backfield. And I also noticed that Rashard White was getting a little bit more carries, not just catches out of the backfield as well. Luke McCaffrey continues to make plays out there. So those are good signs as well. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I noticed today that Tyler Owens was being a little disruptive as far as his production on the field. So that's a good sign if you're Durante Jones, because they're trying to find the right fit and trying to pull the right, spark for a guy like Tyler Owens, who possesses incredible athleticism and size for that safety position. So today was a good day for him. So we'll have a lot more tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think it'll get a little bit more ramped up because they'll be in pads, and it's been getting spirited. It's been getting heated as far as these practices, and it's hot out here right now, folks. So I think tomorrow we're going to have a lot more that we'll be talking about. So once again, from the Big Bear AI Performance Center for ESPN Radio, I'm NFL insider Lake Lewis Jr.